Hello and welcome to Astrology South Africa's Tarotscope for the month of August 2021. I'm Judy Croome, and this month I'm using a 3-card spread using the Rider Waite Smith tarot deck. The first card, which is the situation, is the 4 of Swords. The second card, which is the challenge in the situation, is the 5 of Swords. And the final card, the key element to consider during the month of August, is the very interesting, very complex, and sometimes intimidating, but very exciting Death card. You'll see for the situation, we have the 4 of Swords. This is a card of stillness, of inward contemplation, of meditation, reflection. And with us starting the month of August with 4 planets retrograde and Uranus joining them during the course of the month, this is a perfect card to express the energies of August 2021. It reminds us that after the hectic and traumatic July that we, particularly here in South Africa, experienced, it is a time for us to turn inward, to rest, to recover. The energies of August are very quiet. They are more open. They're presenting a lot of opportunities for us to go forward, because the rest of the year is going to be quite hectic. And we're probably going to end the year with another surge in COVID and perhaps a little bit more unrest with the Uranus-Saturn square in its last, third and final phase. So this month of August, this card, the 4 of Swords, is extremely important that we use this time during this month to reflect, to go inward, to think back on, well, the whole pandemic really. And, where are we in our journey? How do we find our peace? How do we stay calm in the midst of chaos? Because that's the greatest way to, chaos is a time of perfect opportunity, because anything and everything is possible out of chaos. But we are not going to be able to make use of the opportunities that chaos presents unless we actually are still and calm within. And that's what the 4 of Swords is reminding us, to go inward, to be still, to reflect on what was, where we are now, and where we want to be in the future. It is not a passive type of stillness. It is a stillness that moves us forward in a calm and steady way. And it restores our soul. It gives us strength and it gives us endurance. And the 4 of Swords reminds us that it's from a point of stillness and calm within the chaos that we can actually make the greatest use of our opportunities. The card in the challenge position is the 5 of Swords, which is a card that indicates we're engaging in a conflict of some nature. It can suggest a disagreement with others, which leads to hostility and tension. We may think we've won, and we may have won a small battle. But in the end, this card suggests that if we don't use our conflicts constructively, if we don't seek mutual agreement, if we want to win at all costs, at the end of the day, we may win the battle, but we could still lose the big picture. It's an important, the challenge in this card lies in understanding that sometimes when we choose conflict over calm reflection, we set ourselves on the road to isolating ourselves. We may believe at times that it's more important to be right than to appreciate and understand where the other side was coming from. This can be in a personal argument with a loved one, or with friends, or with an employee or an employer, or it could be on a collective level, such as in the country. Do we understand and appreciate where some of the looters were coming from during the recent riots in KwaZulu-Natal? If we were poor and starving with no hope of a job, how would we react in that situation? And that is what the 5 of Swords is reminding us, that to win at all costs cuts us off from our own humanity. It demonizes the other, and it encourages us to self-sabotage, because we don't live in isolation. We need to understand that sometimes to win a conflict, we need to walk away. We need to hold that center. We need to stay calm, and we need to try and find the most workable solution for all of us. And during this month of August, which is giving us a time to prepare ourselves, to calm ourselves, to center ourselves again, the challenge lies in understanding, how do we deal with conflict? How do we deal with conflict on a personal level? How do we deal with conflict on a collective level? I think South Africa in the month of July really came out well. It was the most wonderful experience, how we came together as a country. And that is using conflict in a positive way. And this card reminds us that the way to victory is inclusive, not exclusive. The key element to consider is the importance of transformation. This death card is a very feared card, but it is also the most misunderstood card because it is the most powerful card in the whole deck. It is an indication that a great transformation is coming. It is death of the old, transformation and rebirth. And it is inherent in human nature that we cling to the past, we cling to the familiar, we cling to what is known. And this death card in the key element to consider position is reminding us that we need to choose a new path. It signals that a major phase in our lives is ending and a new one is about to start. If we close one door, a new one will open. But we need to place the past behind us, whether it is our personal past, if we need to let go a relationship, we need to let go a job, if we need to move house, or if it is on a collective level, we need to let go the ways of the past, we need to find a new, more inclusive way of existing, of eliminating inequalities. We need to find a new way of being. And that is what this card is reminding us, that we need to focus our energy on what is ahead of us, not on what lies behind us. It simply means that a major change, a transition, or a huge transformation is coming our way. We need to let the old die, in inverted commas, to allow the new to be created, to be reborn. This death usually does signify a scary time. And I must be honest, I do think that the next few months, up until early 2022, are going to be tumultuous. I think there is going to be a lot of change. Seneca, the great Roman author, said, "He who will, the gods lead. He who won't, the gods drag." And that is another important element of the death card. The more willingly we choose to let the old die, the more willingly we choose to transform, the easier the process will be. And August is a time for us to consider, how can we embrace change in a calm and centered manner? It is important for us to make space for new ways of being to come into our lives. And this final card of the August reading is a huge reminder that change will come and there's nothing we can do about it. But change can be exciting. It can be vibrant. It can infuse us with a new way of being that we had never dreamt of. And that is what we need to remember during the month of August as we contemplate quietly what we're doing and what we need to do in the future. Embrace change and move forward to a new way of being. Thank you for listening to Astrology South Africa's August Tarotscopes. This is Judy Croome signing off until we meet in September, when we will see what the cards have in store for us. Join us on social media. We have a very vibrant and active Facebook group. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on LinkedIn. Come and join the party, add your voice, and we will meet in September. Stay well, stay safe.